Charlene. I want you to first, just because I only know you from different events like the Library Cafe, and we haven't had the chance to work together a ton. I'm relatively new to Habitat. I mean, how long have you been volunteering, and what was that spark to bring you in?
Wow. I retired in 21, and I was looking for volunteer opportunities, and I mean, it's just a no-brainer. I mean, we need affordable housing, and I was still able enough, and maybe changing, but able enough to do the construction part. And so I guess this was, one of the places that I wanted to start.
Aw. When you said you were looking for volunteer opportunities, what else came across your radar at that time?
Oh, let's see. I do quite a few things now, but I have been on the board of the campus ministry at UWL, and I work at the Exchange, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
It's an area furniture bank.
We refer people there a lot if they can't take stuff at the restore.
Yep, absolutely. I work with the jail ministry in a program called Circles of Support for recently released people, and we try to help them transition back into the community. So so those are a few. I've done the Angel Tree for Salvation Army, a number of things for Habitat. So I've kind of gotten away from the construction part of it and more to some other kinds of things. So
Absolutely. What I find most interesting about, like, you've heard of the concept of a third space before, right? You have home, you have work, and then you should have a third space that you feel in community with others. When we did the latest volunteer survey at the end of last year, over 75% of the volunteers that responded also volunteer with other organizations. So folks really understand the importance of giving back to the community and just broadening their worldview.
Well, and Kelly, it turns out since I've retired that it's really my social circle. I mean, I meet people, they are like-minded, and it's just makes a good connection with people with the similar values that I have. So
Yeah, absolutely. Is there another volunteer or staff person or homeowner that sticks out in your mind?
Oh, obviously Curtis and Jeremy. Because when I started, they were both still in construction. Curtis was the direct supervisor, but I got to know Jeremy as well. And then, of course, we expanded and had David with the new, I think it's repair program.
Yeah.
They actually did a couple of jobs at our home that we could not do, and they obviously had the expertise. And I thought, if we're going to hire someone, pay someone, why not them? So
Right.
got connected with David that way, and I did some reclaim with Adam, especially at the place downtown where on 4th Street, I think it is, where they put in some apartments and also taking down the hotel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was interesting, but
I'm glad that you mentioned repair and reclaim. They're relatively new programs to our affiliate, and I don't think as many people, especially the repair program, like you said, if you've got some small fixes at home that need to be done, the repair team is a really good fit. You said you had volunteered in the past on construction sites. What was your experience like with reclaim?
Oh, let's see, the reclaim experience was, like I said, in that I think it was an 8-plex down on 4th Street, and the reclaim from the hotel up on the north side. So those were the main ones, and haven't done a lot with reclaim lately, but love the repair cafe idea. And always just one time they just put out a call for someone to weed, and I went and weeded. They put out a call for someone to organize, and I went and organized the upstairs room off of the conference center, and just, you know, really a variety of things with Habitat. So
yeah, it really goes to illustrate we're not just the two-way street of restore and construction sites. Our affiliate has so much other programming.
Yeah. So, and I like the variety, and I like the people I've met, you know, through the different programs. So, you know, it's a win-win for me.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the repair cafe at the library, which is relatively new, and you've obviously been a huge help with some sewing repairs as well. Do you want to talk about that event a little bit?
Well, again, we did not know what that was going to be, and I think the people that came in did not know what it was going to be. So it was a real eclectic group and set of jobs. One thing I did was untangle a woman's necklaces. And I had just done that for one of my granddaughters. So I thought, I have experience here and I can do this. And I mean, she was very appreciative. Yeah, some smaller, some larger sewing projects, some I couldn't do. Repair purses because it was either leather or heavy plastic and my machine would not do that, but people did not know, so it was as simple as shortening some pajamas for a woman so she wouldn't always trip over them, or a hole in a guy's pocket because he kept losing his keys. So, and again, if they don't have, say, a sewing machine or someone in the area, it's just a service that we can provide. And obviously it gets our name out to the community, and like you said, how we really have so many different kinds of programs that we offer for the community. So, and I've done some interviewing for prospective Habitat homeowners, so that's been interesting as well. So,
yeah. And of course, all of this programming that we do, even the library cafe, still focuses on our mission of affordable housing in a community where all feel they belong. Is there something about Habitat's mission or focus that really speaks and resonates with you?
Wow. Like I said, affordable housing, and also the sustainability aspect. I've worked on Renew the Block, and in fact I'm going tonight, and we'll purchase a paver, so that's kind of not only a donation but also kind of speaks to my support of that program, and did a couple of mornings of cleaning up yards for homeowners in that area in front of the middle school. I'm interested in seeing tonight what other kinds of improvements they've made in that. So yeah.
And you've been one of our more active sustainability volunteers as well. Obviously, affordable housing seems to resonate and be important to you. But what about sustainability makes you interested?
Well, again, it's I don't like the way that we have such a consumable society, how things are just so transient. That's not how I was brought up. My children say that I'm over the top, but my mom would say I'm very wasteful. And her mom would have probably said in her generation she was wasteful. But you know, if you're raised by someone who came through the Depression, they really understood how you could do a lot with very little, and very hardworking people. And I had some awesome role models in my childhood and growing up. So I certainly hope I've passed at least some of those on to my kids. Our son's wife she just shakes her head when she goes, "Oh, Nathan, you're just like your mom," where I squeeze the last out of the toothpaste, or he puts leftovers together and he'll eat those where they don't like to eat leftovers. One little story is the other day he said she had put some things together, and he said to Gina, you know, can I have this for my lunch? And she goes, yeah, but I was gonna feed it to the dogs. I thought, my son said, nope, I'll eat it. I mean, it's just that kind of thing, that very little is wasted. And hopefully with seeing how things can be reclaimed and resold at Restore, that will become more of a norm in our society. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole life cycle of a product.
Right.
The Restore is a dangerous place to work because I want to shop all day. One of the last questions I have for you as we wrap up is, you've obviously been with Our Habitat affiliate for years now. You mentioned Curtis, who has since retired. From your volunteer perspective, how have you seen our local habitat grow and evolve over time?
Oh, wow. Well, grown so much that people have had to take on different roles. I know now Jeremy is pretty much out of construction, but how they've evolved to do the modular homes, which seems to be where they can build more homes at an affordable price. So that kind of expansion of Habitat's role is, I think, awesome. They work in far-reaching corners. I'm always surprised. I have not gone to Arcadia or, let's see, was it Eitzen or Hillsboro? I have not done that. I have actually not even been at this Stoddard site because I live near Holman, so it's kind of out of my way, but certainly love to see the work that's going on. So,
yeah. You must read the Friday emails I send out.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
Cover to cover.
Good.
Yeah. Could you touch on a little more, like how you've seen it grown, like more activity and just general bandwidth of what the organization is?
Well, as far as the different programs, absolutely. You know, they didn't have a repair or not as much in sustainability when I first started. It was pretty much just, the construction part. And the reclaim, obviously, it just seems to me, and maybe they had those programs and I just was not all that familiar with them, but certainly see the breadth of services they provide and the area they serve. To me, that, the wide area from Minnesota, to the reaches of farther east in Wisconsin and things like that. So they have to keep expanding their staff because it's so far reaching.
Yeah. Are there any other questions you would have or anything you feel like I didn't bring up?
I guess, what are you thankful for the experience? Say you never even got a part of it. Like why are you thankful?
Well, I'm most thankful for the people I've met, and I'm thankful that it gives me a real sense of accomplishment, and it really gives me a reason for how I use my time. I worked for many, many years, retired later than most people do, but that's because I really enjoyed my job. But I'm the kind of person that needs structure. So I knew when I retired, I would need to find things. And like we said at the beginning, we keep hearing about affordable housing, so I knew that this was a good place to start with this. And then I've made it my social circle, and so, yeah, it's been a win-win for me, and I always look for Kelly's weekly emails and see what else she's offering that I can volunteer for.